to see so many of you here. I'm just delighted. So let's get acquainted. I'll sit here at my bar stool. My name is John, and I'm your friend. Let's get acquainted on the count of three. Give me your name. 1, 2, 3. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm so excited for our time together. I've been really anticipating sharing with you, teaching, hopefully just adding incredible value to you today. So we're going to become great friends and we're going to learn together. And let me just ask you, how many of you would be out of the business community? Would you raise your hand if you're in the business community? Okay, good, great. How many of you would be in the education community? Super, great. How many of you would be in the government community? 1. And that's the problem with leadership.
We are honored to your coming to Romania for the second time. If you were to define in a few words the need you see in leadership in general and perhaps and especially in our country, what would you see it?
Well, there's a leadership vacuum around the world in every country. When I decided to train leaders and spend my entire life teaching leadership, I never realized in the beginning that the subject of leadership would always be in demand. I've never known in a country or a company, a team, to say we have too many leaders. They never have enough because everything rises and falls on leadership. So I teach leadership around the world to try to help people understand that anyone can learn to lead and they can develop leadership skills. What's interesting is when I come to Romania, I find a very high receptivity of learning how to lead. I love the Romanian people. They're expressive and they are hungry. So I think that Romania, like any country, we just need more leaders and we need better leaders, and that's why I travel, speak, and write.
I like the thought that we can make this world a better place. To many who blame country leadership, spiritual leadership, and perhaps especially business leadership, what can you say? I think we need to look with hope and maybe think first of all about personal change, right?
Yes. In my book, Change Your World, I talk about the transformation begins in me. So when people say I would like to change my community or my family, I always say that's a good thing. Now start with yourself. And if you change yourself, then you have high potential of being able to influence and change others, because now you're an example for others. But you don't start with someone else, you start with yourself.
And a message for our listeners?
Well, I would encourage all of you to... I wrote a book that came out 2 years ago called Change Your World. It's in Romanian, and I would encourage you to get that book because it talks there about how you teach values in small groups that really do help people have transformation in their life.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So many people that they were better than me, bigger than me, faster than me. And they just taught me. They just helped me. Where I am today is because so many people helped me get there. And that's why I'm passionate about helping you get there. That's why I do what I do. So I'm having breakfast with a guy named Kurt Kahnmeyer. And he asked me a question. He said, John, what is your plan for personal growth? And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't have one. Now, not only did I not have a plan for personal growth, honestly, I never thought of it. I never thought one time in my life, I need to have a personal growth plan so that I can develop myself to its greatest potential. It never entered my mind. So that breakfast, we had a conversation about how do we get better? How do we develop ourselves? How do we grow ourselves so that we can reach our potential? Toward the end of the breakfast, Kurt said something to me that was life-changing. He said, John, your personal growth, your development is not automatic. You will not automatically get better. Now, that was big for me because I had assumed that I would automatically get better. I assumed that if I go to work and if I do my job, and, that just I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better. And that day when he said, John, growth is not automatic. Your personal development and growth, it's not automatic. You're going to have to be intentional. You're going to have an intentional personal growth plan. Wow. I went to my friends over the next few months. When I would be with my friends, I'd look at them and I'd say, do you have a personal growth plan? Interestingly enough, I'm sure I asked at least 200 of my friends over the next couple of months, do you have a personal growth plan? Interestingly enough, none of them had one. And then it hit me. Isn't this interesting? Something so vital to your success, your personal growth and development, and we don't have a game plan. So I said, okay, I've got to get a game plan. Now, I did not know how to do this. I found a kit. We're talking now. We're clear back to the 1970s. I found a cassette kit on goal setting. And I thought, okay, I think I'll grow in goal setting. So I bought the kit. I can still remember it cost me $799. It took 6 months for Margaret and I to save up the money to buy it because we didn't have it. We were young, we were poor. But I got the growth kit. And I began to every day work on goal setting, listen to the tapes, fill in all the lessons, take the lessons. And today, if you came to my home office, you would see that kit. I keep it there. I keep it where I can look at it anytime. Because that kit represents my beginning of intentionally, personally growing. By the way, it cost me $799 for the kit. It was a big investment for me back then. It took me 6 months. But the kit has returned millions of dollars back to me. Now don't miss this. Don't miss this. The first investment you should make is in yourself. The first investment you should make is you invest in you. That's not selfish. That's not selfish at all. And the reason the first investment you should make is an investment in yourself is because you cannot give what you do not have. Those chores, they give them a little bit of money to do those chores. So, when I grew up, all my friends got an allowance to do chores except me. So I went to my dad and I said, Dad, all my friends, they get an allowance to do chores, but you don't give us allowance. I said, don't you think it'd be a good idea if you kind of paid me to do chores? He said, it's a terrible idea. I'm not going to do that. Well, and I said, why? He said, well, he said, you do chores because you're part of the family. And I don't pay you to be part of this family. In fact, let me explain it to you this way. By the time you were born, you already owed your mother for 9 months of room and board. So shut up and take out the garbage. And then he said, why would I pay you to take out the garbage unless I want you to grow up and be a garbage man? I put my money where my values are. Now, we didn't get paid to do chores, but we got paid to read books. And my father picked out the books. He would buy a book, he would give it to us. We were required to read 30 minutes every day. He would give us the book, we would read it. When we finished reading it, he would give us the money that he paid for the book. Every night at dinner, our conversation is the books that we're reading and what we're relearning. Now, I'm the middle child. I have an older brother, I have a younger sister. I want to tell you right now, the greatest things my parents did for us is they put good books in our hands. And from the 7th grade on, every day for 30 minutes, I read success books. By the time I graduated, I was so far beyond my peers. Not like in grades in school, but in success. I understood success. My brother who's older, by the time he graduated from college at Ohio State, he was a millionaire. My sister, by the time she was 28, she ran a hospital. By the time I was 29, I had the 10th largest nonprofit organization in America. This is not an accent, folks. My name is John. I'm your friend. Today I am telling you and sharing with you how to be successful. It's your call, it's your choice. But I do know this. My parents set us up for success. I did that for my grandchildren. I do that for my grandchildren. I pay them. Pay them to read books. I pay them to listen to audio. I pay them. And it's amazing. We have 5 grandchildren. When the first grandchild was about to be born, Margaret said, "What are the grandchildren going to call us?" I said, "I don't know." She said, "I want them to call me Mimi." I said, "I like that." She said, "But I don't want them to call you Pee-Pee." And I don't want them to call me Pee-Pee either. So they call me Papa. They call me Papa. So my grandchildren are reading great books. They're listening to great audiobooks. When they hear or read a great quote, they text it to me. The reason they're texting to me this great quote is they're trying to make what we call the Papa list. The Papa list is when I look at a quote and I say it's a real good one, it gets on the list. But if it's not a good one, I say it's a good quote, but no, it doesn't make the Papa list. And when the cousins get together, they talk about what quotes they have on the Papa list. My children and my grandchildren are set for success. I make sure of it. And that is the key to the success I've had in my life. Every day I do the essentials. You figure out your essentials. And remember, just 5. You don't need to have 10 essentials. That's too many essentials. Just 5 essentials. And then you just do them every day. Not all day. Sometimes I write for 5 hours. Sometimes I write for 15 minutes. But I do it every day. Does that make sense? So let's practice the rule of 5. Let's practice our chops. Are you ready? Put your notes aside. I'm done. We're going to do this, and I'm closed. Can you do this 5 times with me, all right? Because it's the power of 5. Are you ready? Excuse me. My name's John. I'm your friend. Don't make it complicated. You ready? Sir. It's okay. It's okay. Let's do it. We'll try it again. How many times? Watch me. Stay with me. You ready? I just said stay with me. And you just took off. We're having fun. I'm having fun. Let's go. 5 times.
John, I'm your friend. Thank you very much.